Most people want to know what their kids are doing. We did not take sides in this matter. We merely presented it. This picture is on view downtown in Detroit. Your kids can pay $4 or $5 and go and see it. Wouldn't you like to know what's in the movie? And she had to agree. She would like to know it. Because it appears in the news, it should not have a cloak over it any more than the television set should have a shade on it when certain things come across that you may not want to see, but which may be vital to your understanding of what the life is in this world.
Another unforeseen event was the rise in street crime in the inner city. Unfortunately, the black community reacted to a news campaign to cut down on the crime as criticism of blacks. It led to a short-lived boycott of the paper. Today, black opinion has improved, but news columnist June Brown sometimes gets an earful when she goes after an interview for a story.
Gertie, you know, I'm writing this column for the Detroit News, so I want to know what my friends are thinking about the Detroit News. Do you take the...
Me personally, or just my friends?
I want to know what you personally think. Do you take the Daily News?
No, I don't take it anymore. I just take it now on Sunday. And remember this crime back here? They had this big article in the paper about they would have about 20 black and 2 white.
You mean that crime in the street?
Yeah, the crime in the street.
Yeah.
And nobody done no crime but the black people.
According to
the news.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I feel like that was phony. Well, that was my personal opinion about it. You know, then my customers too, they call me up and tell me, "You taking the news? Well, stop. Read the paper." You know, and I would stop, and I would tell everybody else the same thing. You know.
What do you think? What could the news do to make you buy it again?
Tell it like it is.
One way the news is telling it like it is by recognizing black achievement. Here, it sponsors an award crediting a community leader with keeping things cool during a hot summer.
Now, first of all, I'd like to thank the Detroit News for making this award possible. It's an award for police citizen. It's a police citizen award in recognition of outstanding contribution to police citizen cooperation and understanding to Reverend Isaiah Patterson.
We have thousands of good, substantial, decent, well-established Negro citizens who are working as hard as anyone else to try and make it a good town, and they and the similar-thinking white citizens are going to do it.
When you get right down to it, black people and white people want basically the same things. Blacks merely want to be treated like human beings, you know, like everyone else, just like an American, no more, no less. And I think any group or any agency or any institution that does that is going to have support in the black community.
That is why I'm working for the Detroit News, because in spite of the differences between the black community with the news's editorial policy, you have a very good personnel policy. And this is the paper that has given all of us a start. You know, I am very intimately involved with the news. The news has been in my home since I learned to read. And when you get a paper like that, the paper becomes a part of you. And when a paper does something that hurts you, editorial, it's almost as though someone you loved has been untrue. And it hurts you so very deeply. And even when I get mad at the news is still the best paper. You have to come. Rita Griffin and I were talking about it the other day. She says that she gets mad at the news and throws it away, but then she's got to sneak back and read it because it's the only way you're going to know what's going on.
The main plant is going to be setting back 150 feet.
Members of management discussed the building of a new printing plant on a site in Sterling Heights. It's part of a general expansion of facilities planned to take care of the expected upward growth of the paper in the years ahead. There are other things ahead, too, like increasing computerization. The News plans to go on adding advanced equipment to streamline production. As the paper expands, it will also mean more job opportunities for everyone. Like any newspaper, the News depends on its advertising, especially its classified ads. Its tremendous pulling power has helped forge success in the past. In the future, A growing readership will increase its pulling power even more.
I think our first ad ran about 20 years ago, and today we're spending approximately $500,000 a year, and the results are quite spectacular.
The News is determined to go on improving its editorial product. It will extend its coverage of local and national affairs, gearing it more than ever to the needs and interests of a tough, hard-to-please audience, the average Detroiter.
I think the News is typically backward as far as women's equal rights are concerned.
It's a very good paper. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have it changed for the world.
It seems that they could be a lot more liberal.
Now we make people mad. As a matter of fact, the day that a newspaper comes out and everybody reads it and nobody's mad, you're almost dead certain that was a bad newspaper.
The theory of our form of government involves an informed populace. Well, we're part of that information process. And the better we do it, the better a newspaper we are.
I'm not a politician. I just read the Detroit News.
The grandma out there reads it, and it's in print, and it's the gospel truth because she read it in the newspaper. And I think that they do have a tremendous influence, if not directly, at least indirectly, in the attitudes of people, how they look at the city and how they look at life in general.
I think from the day this paper started, it was dedicated to this community, to covering the news of this community, to being as much as it can be a light in dark places in the community to suggest how things might be improved.